Mr. John Barosa. Okay, you and Mr. Williams have a safe and wonderful trip. What about Mr. Gavin?
I think he's staying at Phobos to help us send fake signals or something.
Mr. John Barosa, a good day to you. What is your update?
Me and Coned are still traveling. I don't know when we will arrive.
Mr. John Barosa, I hope you both arrived your destination safely. Mr. John Barosa, what is the update? I hope you arrived safely as I have not seen any updates from you yet.
I hope you realize that it is not a short journey.
Mr. Williams, I never knew. And I am also asking for both your safety. Mr. John Barosa, what is your update? I hope you all are well and okay. Mr. John Barosa, again I hope you all arrived safely. I am yet to see an update. Mr. John Barosa, Mr. Williams the first, do hope you are both okay.
Yes.
Mr. John Barosa, good to see your chat. Your safety first before any other thing. Hope you both had a wonderful trip. What's your update? Mr. John Barosa, what is the update right now? Mr. Gavin, what is going on now? Mr. John Barosa, what is going on? Mr. John Barosa, Mr. Gavin, please, what is going on right now? I don't have an update yet. Mr. John Barosa, where are you?
I think we will arrive soon.
Mr. John Barosa, good to see your chat. I never knew the trip will come to be this way. What a sacrifice. I know the cloud issue will be settled.
Okay. We are arriving in a few minutes.
Mr. John Barosa, that's a very good news. You are both arriving safely.
Yes, I can see the plane now.
Okay. Meet Coned and Yoy are now at the airport. We will find a place to stay for a while until we figure out how to get to the other Quickie Fund location.
Mr. John Barosa, a good to you. What is your update today? I hope this trip will be successful in settling the cloud so the money can get back into your account. Mr. John Barosa, I hope you are all settled well now and relaxed. Please keep me posted on events. I wish you success to settle the cloud and get your money back in your account. Mr. John Barosa, any updates?
No, but we might be able to go to Aegion soon.
That's good to hear. When I was at work yesterday, I tried getting the Quickie Fund address of a location which is also fairly unused. I found it, and tried to send a few requests to it and it worked. Apparently, there are still a few people working there, so the power is still switched on at all times. When you get to Quickie Fund Aegion, you'll probably have to find a way to get the power running so that we can send a few test signals before we try to remove the cloud. It probably uses old technology as well, but hopefully it all still works. I heard that Quickie Fund Aegion was supposed to be demolished a while ago, but nobody has talked about it since 2010. I personally have been unsuccessful in locating any other info about this, so you will have to go there and fix the problems before we can do anything.
I can't seem to get into my Google chat, so I opened a new one. Please send me an update immediately. The last chat Mr. Gavin explained about sending test signals to you when you get to the old QuickaFund office.
Okay. I'll invite you back to the group. Maybe the imposter BMO Harris Bank tried to get your account blocked.
Mr. John Barosa, I appreciate.
Okay. What do we do next?
Mr. Gavin, I think this question is for you. If Mr. Williams had done as I advised before now, when do you plan going to the QuickaFund outlet?
Hopefully before the end of the week.
Mr. John Barosa, that's good to see. I hope Mr. Williams and others are well and okay. Mr. John Barosa, hope you all are good today. How are the preparations going to the QuickaFund company?
We're going to need supplies to last about 2 months. I think John has bought most of it by now, so we might be able to find a way of getting to Aegion.
Mr. Williams, that good to see. SK, when are you actually going to Aegion? Mr. John Barosa, what is the update today?
I think we have enough supplies now. I've been looking for ways to get to Aegion. We will probably have to hire something to get there. I'll have a look later.
Mr. John Barosa, I hope this cloud issue gets settled this week. One thing I was thinking, Mr. Williams agreed to come have this trip with you to help, but not helping you with the needed loan amount?
I agreed to help John remove the cloud. I am not going to help John with a loan because he will not need one once the cloud is resolved. John will be the one sending the money, not me. Furthermore, you still haven't given much evidence that this is real. Even John doesn't know where the $4,100,000 came from. Could you explain this? I would be very confused if someone made a large transfer like that to me for no reason.
Excuse me, Mr. Williams. With what I read here, you wish to make this a conflicting issue. I think I and Mr. John Barosa will have to communicate more.
Where did the money come from?
Mr. John Barosa, what is the update today? Mr. John Barosa, have you gone to Aegion? What's the update of the day?
Not yet. It will probably be quite expensive to hire a plane to get there. I also don't know how to fly.
Then how do you get there? Mr. John Barosa, what is the update today? Hope you have successfully made a way to Aegion.
You haven't answered my question.
Mr. John Barosa, what is your update?
So are you just ignoring my messages now? Do you really not know who tried to transfer over $4 million to John?
Mr. Williams, I think I have made myself very clear to you beforehand. I don't think I need to send out information that you are not privileged to. Mr. John Barosa, what is the update today? Mr. Gavin, how are you today? Any updates from your end?
No, I won't be able to do anything until John, Coned and Yoy get to Aegion.
Mr. John Barosa, I hope everything is working to plan.
Okay.
Mr. John Barosa, so what's the final plan now getting to Aegion?
It probably isn't too hard to fly a small plane. We need one big enough to hold 3 people and all of the supplies. I'll also need to create a fake license so that I can hire it. Luckily I already have some experience with making fake documents, such as that fake card of info for Gavin.
Mr. John Barosa, do you really know how to fly a plane? I don't understand. Mr. John Barosa, I hope your plan is working on how to get to Aegion by flight, but can you really fly a plane?
It probably isn't too hard to fly one. I just need a fake license.
Mr. John Barosa, I don't agree with you in this. To fly a plane you must have passed a flying test.
Should Cone fly instead then?
Mr. John Barosa, does he know how to fly a plane?
No.
Mr. John Barosa, how then do you get to the final destination?
One of us will fly the plane.
Mr. John Barosa, please, do any of you have the experience to fly a plane?
No. I'll make the fake license tomorrow.
Mr. John Barosa, sincerely I really don't understand all this. Mr. John Barosa, what is the update today? Mr. John Barosa, I hope you all are okay. Mr. John Barosa, Mr. Williams and Mr. Thayer, I hope you are all okay. Mr. Gavin, any word from them?
I forgot to make the license. I'll start making it now.
Mr. John Barosa, to tell you the truth, I don't quite understand what is going on anymore. I hope the help I am trying to render to you will not give me issues.
What help are you trying to render to me?
Mr. John Barosa, I had to fill in for you for time, which I made the concerned office understand the whole situation. Mr. John Barosa, what is the update as of today? I gave you an advice earlier to secure half the amount for registration, but your friend Williams refused to help you with the amount but had this trips with you to help solve the clothes situation. As of the moment you need to show some seriousness to the concerned department and try to secure half as soon as possible.
Okay. The license is nearly done. It is finished. Hopefully they believe it. Also, I don't know how long we're going to be there, so I think it's best for me to just buy a plane instead of hiring it.
Mr. John Barosa, I think it had gotten to me that this is a game. I don't really understand how you can't be able to secure half the payment but you are ready to buy a plane to fly and settle a cload of about 4,000 United States dollars? Your friend also do not wish to help you but willing to have a trip with you? Look, I think I have to make my decision.
I assume Coned and Yoy will be paying for the plane. I don't really have any money left after the clothes situation.
Mr. John Barosa, why don't you ask both of them to help you with about 2,500 United States dollars? So have to show some seriousness to the concerned department. Look, Mr. John Barosa, I know what I am trying to avoid for you. Talk to them so that you three can have an understanding. Mr. John Barosa, what is going on? Mr. John Barosa?
What? I don't think it's necessary to use that many question marks.
Mr. John Barosa, I do not seem to understand what you update anymore. Mr. Gavin, how are you? Mr. John Barosa, I don't understand what you all are doing right now. I can't continue to ask while my job might be at risk. Mr. John Barosa, have you been able to remove the cloud?
No.
So what's going on?
I'm currently trying to find a place where we can buy a plane for a small amount of money.
Mr. John Barosa, what I don't understand is you trying to buy a plane for a small amount of money, when I advised you to secure half the registration to the concerned department. I don't see why Williams can't help you, and had this trip with you. If you can talk to Mr. Williams and Toy, by now we would have closed this issue and I continue not helping you lie when I have nothing to gain but actually helping. Mr. John Barosa, to say the truth I can't continue to hold this for you. There are things you don't understand and my help to you is about to have a turn.
Toy? Why are you insulting me?
Excuse me Mr. Yoy, I never insulted you. If I got the spelling of your name wrong, it's a typographical error and I am sorry. Mr. Yoy, why don't you and Williams help Mr. John Barosa with half the amount while you still work in the clode? Mr. Williams and Yoy, you both sacrificed your time and also funding to a company, help Mr. John Barosa over the clode situation. I will please urge you to help him with half the amount to enable him to show seriousness over the registration to the concerned department. Please conclude this as soon as possible.
I'm still quite suspicious of this whole thing. In my last messages, I asked where the $4.1 million came from. No one here seems to have any idea of where this money came from. If it was transferred to John's Quickie Fund account, then how did it not show up in the transaction log? I spoke to John and he said that you just randomly messaged him, saying that someone wanted to transfer a huge sum of money to him, for no reason, and his account just happened to become clotted fairly soon after. Maybe the clode didn't come from the imposter account situation after all. Was it that another imposter tried to transfer that large amount of money to John to get his account clotted on purpose? This all seems very strange. I still don't know the full story. I will talk to John and Yoy tomorrow and create some sort of a timeline to make sure we all understand what's happening. This is getting very confusing.
Mr. Williams, I wish you a good day. After going through your chat, I found out that there is a misinformation somewhere. All I understand is that Mr. John Barosa had a transaction which was held up because of a process he did not have concerning the transfer, and again Mr. John Barosa should explain to you if he has a transaction or not. He was about making the registration payment which went wrong and got his account clotted because the payment did not go through. No one tampered with his QuickaFund account, it was a mistake. As you can see, Mr. Gavin confirmed that the amount was still there and tried to help him, but after everything it got clotted. All I ask is for you to put heads together and help him secure half the registration. This way they will see he is serious and know that I am also having nothing at stake, because an allegation might come up concerning me which I would really not want. I am just trying to help Mr. John Barosa. You both have started helping, just do as I have advised.
Okay, we made a timeline so that everyone can understand the full story. April 11th, the first message, along with the PDF, was sent to John Barosa. April 13th, John configures the transfer to the wrong Quickie Fund account. April 16th, Gavin Boras is added to the conversation. April 17th, the Google chat is created. April 20th, John sends his Quickie Fund info to Gavin to start resolving the issue. April 24th, Gavin finishes extracting the money from the imposter account. May 2nd, John's account becomes clotted. May 10th, Gavin arrives at Quickie Fund HQ. May 19th, Gavin successfully breaks into the building. May 29th, John invites Cone Williams and Yoy Thayer to help with the clode. June 7th, Yoy notices the chat invite. June 10th, Yoy explains that there is an unused Quickie Fund place on Aegion. June 22nd, Yoy invites BMO, Harris Bank, who is later proven to be a scammer. July 1st, John, Cone and Yoy start traveling to Paline. July 31st, John creates a fake small flying vehicle license. August 7th, Cone creates a theory that the clode may have come from another suspicious imposter.
So what is the conclusion? Are you both going to put $2,300 United States dollars together to help him?
No. Cone said he found a fairly cheap plane. We will buy that and use it to get to Aegion.
Mr. John Barosa, really? So no one took Tommy advice? How much did you pay to acquire the plane? But you should have taken to my advice. So what's the update?
What did Tommy advise? Who is Tommy? I don't understand. Did you invite someone new to this group?
No, Mr. John Barosa, I did not add anyone. It was an error. I meant no one to my advice. I advised that Williams and Yoy help you secure half the registration amount.
And why would I do that? One clode is enough.
Mr. Williams, no, if you follow the instructions such clode can't happen. If you can just follow the instructions, such clode can't happen.
Okay. Explain why a clode would be impossible if I tried to transfer that much all at once with no cans of transfer.
Mr. Williams, I wish you a good day and sorry for my late response. Look, if you do it in trenches, it cannot go into a clode once the transfer is done through an external account. Not from your QuickaFund account. You will need to get the funds in cash, then pay into an external account which you can transfer from. Mr. Gavin can attest to this.
So do you think it's best to transfer several small amounts over a long period of time so it does not become clotted? How many sections should I split the money into? It needs to be small enough so that it doesn't become clotted, and each part will have to be a slightly different size, otherwise the rentance observer may see that several transfers are being done quickly which are all the exact same amount.
Mr. Williams, you are very correct, it has to be done in small amounts. But may I remind you that the transfer must be done from an external account.
Yui and Cone gave me some money to buy the plane. I have the fake license with me, so I'll probably be able to buy it tomorrow.
Mr. Williams, when do you intend to make the transfers? So I can forward you the instructions. Mr. Williams, I am waiting on your confirmation.
Yes, John will buy the plane today.
But I was thinking you wanted to make a transfer in trenches if half the registration? Now, John Barosa needs to show the concerned department he is serious. You need to make the half registration now.
Okay, I will now go to the flying vehicle shop and use the fake license to buy a plane. Hopefully they think it's real, because it's probably not very legal to have a fake license. Okay, they let me buy the plane. They didn't even ask for my license, so that's lucky. It probably wasn't very believable. We should be able to do the preparations for the final journey to Aegion sometime this week. Also, Yui told me that his Google account was flagged for suspicious activity again, so he will have to create a new account. Maybe another scammer contacted him.
Mr. John Barosa tell you to be careful with his Google account. So what is the update today? Mr. Williams, are you still making the part payment? Really, it is most important right now, sincerely speaking.
Well, we have two options here. 1. I pay the amount over a very long period of time. 2. I help Yui and John remove the clothes somehow and allow him to transfer from his own account. I think we both know which one is better. Even if I did pay, John would still be in a clothes.
Mr. Williams, you are right. I think you should start with the option 1. Remember that it has to be from an external account. I think we should get started immediately. I will forward you the transfer instructions.
No, I used that message to make it clear that option 2 is better. If I used option 1, John would still be in a clothes, so it wouldn't really solve anything.
Mr. Williams, here we go again. I want you to follow my advice and make a down payment of half the registration for Mr. John Barosa while you still work on the clothes. It is better they see he is trying his best to meet the process. When the clothes is settled, he can now repay you and complete the registration process, and it can be done in several small amount, maybe 4 to 5 ways. Mr. John Barosa, to say the truth, I can't keep this covered up with me for long. That is why I asked Mr. Williams to help you with a part payment for the registration. To need to make them see effort, I just gave you a hint. You need to show seriousness and commitment on this.
Is there a deadline that I need to pay the fee by?
Yes.
And when is that?
Mr. Williams, as I explained before now, the time frame has passed and he would have been made to secure double, but because of the mistake I had to help Mr. John Barosa on a timeline which I can no longer hold. That was why I was saying something about the down payment. There is very little time remaining.
Okay, when we go to Aegion we will try to get John's clothes reverted as soon as possible, then he can pay the fee. However, none of us have ever gone to an old quickie fun place before, so we will have to figure out how to get it back online. Hopefully Gavin knows how the systems work.
Mr. Williams, what you explained here is very accurate. But I had the understanding you wanted to help him with the down payment, at least something to show them he is serious and working to get it done right away. Do try no matter how. Do a down payment. Mr. John Barosa, Mr. Williams, what is going on? Mr. John Barosa, Mr. Williams, I am going to explain something to both of you. Mr. Williams, there is a reason why I asked you to help Mr. John Barosa with a down payment to show seriousness. It can also be an amount you can afford for now, which Mr. John Barosa can follow up with a letter stating when he can complete the registration. As you know, I only rendered my help to Mr. John Barosa just as you are doing. To tell you the truth, I am not supposed to tell you all this, but what do I stand to gain if I don't? Start by doing what I have advised, so I can also tell you how to go about it while you still work on settling the clothes.
Okay.
So how much are you looking at for the down payment? Let me know immediately, then I will tell you and Mr. Williams what to do. Mr. John Barosa, Mr. Williams, I am waiting for your response chat so I will know how much you want to agree on the down payment. Please get back to me immediately. Mr. John Barosa, what is going on? I need to know what update is and also the down payment immediately.
I think Conde is ready to fly us to Aegion. We've bought food and water to last several months, as we don't know how long we will be there. Apparently the best time to fly there will be tomorrow morning, so hopefully we can take off with no issues and fly straight towards Aegion and try to land there.
Mr. John Barosa, I really don't understand if this is a joke or what. I have advised you what to do.
How does this seem like a joke? Are you not being serious?
I am. That's why I advised for the down payment to the concerned department. I don't seem to understand how you are taking this. I just gave you a hint and advice how to solve this, cause I can't keep this on my desk for long because I don't want to be fingered for bribery or otherwise. Make a down payment with a written statement best explains why the delay.
I would have already paid the fee if you provided proof that this is not a scam. So far you have not, so I will believe you as much as any other stranger on the internet. Do you have the legal department's email address?
Okay. Cone managed to take off a few hours ago. However, we didn't really do any calculations, so hopefully we end up in the right location.
Mr. Williams, I have the legal department email address, but by now they would have contacted Mr. John Barosa only if you knew what I had to do to help the situation. If you really want to help him, then help him before it gets out of hand and he pays off late charges. What other proof do you need? Mr. Williams, are you going to take my advice of not?
Cone can't type because he is flying, but he says, Oxford Jane has not given me any proof that this is real. I only agreed to help John with his clothes, so I will not be paying the fee. Anyway, we can see Aegion in the distance now. We will have to slow down soon and try to land.
Mr. John Barosa, I don't know what else to say about this proof Mr. Williams is talking about. I have done my part to help you till this time, and I have not forced you at any time to send me any funds, but trying to get my duties done. If actually you want to contact the concerned department, you should know Mr. John Barosa should do so and must be ready to follow any given instructions, as you really have no time and might be required to pay for the late charges.
Okay. We are now going quite slowly, so hopefully we can land on the surface of Aegion and Cone will be able to message you.
I have no chat yet.
Hello.
Mr. Williams, how are you and how was the flight? I hope you all are well settled in. What is the update? Are you ready to help him with the down payment? Mr. John Barosa, you should know that this calendar month is coming to an end and you might have no time over this. That was why I advised Mr. Williams to you with the down payment. Look, one thing I will have to spell out. It make no sense to actually get the late charges done if it finally came, because if you do a down payment with a written memo to back it up, it will work. I am just telling you this to help you. The sooner you can get it done, the better. Mr. John Barosa, Mr. Williams, I have written chats to you both to make you both have a clear understanding to what I am saying, but I have no return chat from either of you yet.
Okay.
Then what is going on? Why have you or Mr. Williams not taken to my good advice? Mr. John Barosa, Mr. Williams, I am yet again to see any positive chat from you. Is it that you have refused to take to my advice? I have been in this to help you with a sincere heart, but it seems you fail to take my advice. Mr. John Barosa, I must say I am very surprised at the outcome of the silence from Mr. Williams or you. I have advised you on what to do now that you also Aegion. Mr. John Barosa, I am very surprised to this silence.
Can you see this message?
Mr. Williams, I can see your message. But you are not saying anything. Well, I think I have done all I can to help you.
I think we lost connection soon after we landed on Aegion. It was probably because we were still connected to the Phobian networks. We've connected to other sources closer to Aegion, so hopefully this is a stable connection.
Good to hear from you again, Mr. Williams. I did not understand why, but now I do. So what is the update?
At the moment we are trying to get Yoi's account back. We need to verify a phone number on the account, but me and Cone have already used our telephone numbers for our own accounts, and Yoi used his number on the yoithyre@gmail.com account. It's probably easiest for him to just make a new account.
What is your update?
I don't know. I think we are ready to go down to Quickie Fund Aegion. I can see it in the distance and it isn't very big, much smaller than Quickie Fund Phobos, so I think we should be able to explore it tomorrow. None of us know how anything in there works, so Gavin will have to help.
As of now, what is the update?
We are going up to the entrance of the building now.